Well, I was just getting ready to go into that. Look at these players we mentioned. You got Edwin Diaz. You got Blake Snell, Cy Young winner. Edwin Diaz, top reliever to me. In terms of saves, Aaron Judge, one of the rookies of the year to me. Shohei Ohtani. Mm-hmm. I think he did win rookie.
He did. He won rookie of the year.
And I think Aaron Judge won rookie of the year previously.
I think so.
So you have these players, and I know those are the rules of the rookie players.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But
the arbitration is the big thing where people find it maybe not as fair. Hello? I don't know what that was. How's everybody doing today?
Say something awful. I'm glad I didn't.
Like and subscribe.
But that wasn't even a transition to anything else what you did.
So here's what we got going on today. We got Cody not knowing what to say. We got me sitting over here.
Apparently the world's gonna end sometime.
Yeah.
I just went to like some dark state yesterday. Anyway, we got several announcements in the beginning. Got our sign up. I don't think we mentioned that for baseball.
I don't think we did last week. No.
I think it was started with soccer Thursday. So tomorrow.
I think so. Yeah, tomorrow we'll mention it again.
So we got our sign up.
Trying to get it to stick. It hadn't fallen down again since the first night, but.
But we got our new sign. Again, this will always be a reminder for when we first started.
For when the world is destroyed, ultimately, by Thanos.
This will always be a reminder of when we first started. I like the sign. I think it looks good on the brick.
I love the letters.
Yeah, the letters look really good.
They kind of have like points to them and stuff.
So we get that for an announcement. We also have the March Madness bracket.
Yeah.
If you haven't signed up for our March Madness bracket,
we've actually got a couple people now. So
it's people we know. We want people.
I know.
We want people that we've never heard of before. That way we know our channel's growing a little bit. But we want you to enter. You get a free $25 gift card.
If you win.
If you win. All you have to do...
You get thousands of people entering now. You get a free $25 gift card.
But you have to win. But one of us can't win. We have our own Common Sense Sports channel that's going to go up there and compete with everybody else.
Yeah.
Now we can win it, but we won't win the card.
Yeah, we can win it, but we can't win the card. Somebody's going to win the $25 card.
So all you have to do is go to the March Madness bracket video and comment, say I went in, or bracket, or just me, or something like that.
Just comment on the video and we'll know. And
it has to be before the start of the games.
Yep.
So once the whistle blows in the first game, that's it. You're done.
Next Wednesday is when the tournament starts.
So go ahead and go over there and comment. It doesn't cost you anything to enter.
Nope. It's free.
So
and then I'll go through every comment we get, and I'll send the people the invitation to the group on the ESPN tournament bracket app on the phone, which is it's easy to use.
Now go ahead and go into the shout out because you have the.
Oh yeah, we got our first shout out, like our first blog to mention us. It's called thekzonenews.com. He told me not to mention his name because there's 8 writers. So he wanted me just to mention the website. It's a baseball blog.
Well, we're really excited about it because it's our first shout out.
It's our first shout out ever.
For us just starting, I think it's a big deal to get shout outs. We've gotten actually multiple. We have a contract in the making that I won't go into detail for because we don't have it finalized. Yeah. But there's a possibility of it.
It's possible we could be getting that done, which is good.
So we're excited about that. I won't tell you who it's with because, again, it's not finalized. But we're getting more shout-outs. You said the K-Zone?
thekzonenews.com. I guess we can put the link in the
Of course, we'll put the link in the description. But go over and check them out. They got a bunch of baseball news. Yep. They got several writers. They got a bunch of stories.
I think he said 7 or 8 writers.
So. Which is cool because if you want to see like in-depth analysis of what people do and about
the blogs and stuff go like super deep, and they have their opinion articles that they write, things like that.
So you have us which do the video talks and stuff where you see us talking, and then you have them that do the in-depth detail.
Yep. That
goes straight into baseball and analysis and stuff like that. So if you want to see different aspects, I would go over there and check out.
Check them out, definitely. KZoneNews.com.
KZoneNews.com.
Yeah, we'll put the link down in the description. So that's our shout out done. And I guess we're going to get into the, of course it's baseball Tuesday, so we got baseball stuff today. Got a couple of interesting things to talk about. I guess, do we want to get into the big one first, or do we want to do the smaller ones first? Probably the smaller ones first.
Yeah, you go ahead and just go straight into it.
Okay, so Brewers have said that they're going to start Moustakas at second base now. What did he play last year? It was on the other side. It was third or short. I think it was third.
It was third.
So that's going to be different for him. A lot of people might find it similar, but when you move positions, especially to the other side of the infield,
Here's my thing about it. Moustakas is a bigger guy.
they must have confidence in him playing there, though, or they wouldn't put
Well,
him.
he does have good defense, but you don't have as much area to cover. You do have to be a little agile.
Yeah.
Because you have to get down and get the ball.
Yep.
But you don't have to move as much.
No.
At second base, you're having to do double plays. You're having to move side to side a lot. So, for Moustakas being as big of a guy as he is, I'm wondering, what the mobility is going to be. Because I always like to have a fast man at second base.
Yeah.
And I'm just concerned about what that, but, Moustakas is a good defensive player, so I guess we'll see.
They must have confidence in him.
And he is a good hitter.
Oh, yeah.
So,
this was kind of funny. Shohei Ohtani won Rookie of the Year last year.
oh yeah, you want to start getting into the money in the
actually,
MLB situations.
I guess Scherzer, okay, we'll do this one first. Scherzer was announced as the Nationals starting pitcher. So he's going to pitch against DeGrom to start the season.
Which you could probably guess that's what, it was probably between he and Strasburg.
Yeah.
But, you can't go wrong with Scherzer. I think that was pretty much a shoe-in.
You could have done good with either one. But yeah, this part right here kind of leads into our big talk.
Yes.
Shohei Ohtani won Rookie of the Year last year, so he got a 1-year raise to $650,000 from $545,000. So basically, what this is leading into is Major League Baseball contracts, how some of them don't seem fair compared to the money that the player brings into the club. For example, the big thing on this article was Aaron Judge. They just covered Aaron Judge.
Well, I think the Ohtani thing is huge too. I mean,
he'll make $684,000 this year. And so you look at it. Well, if you didn't know what he was making, you'd be thinking he was making, a good salary.
Yeah, based on what he's been doing in the.
But the
league.
way baseball works is once you sign your rookie contract, you're stuck with that for 3 years, and the club controls that money. So they have full control over that. And then, after the 3 years of the rookie contract, you get into arbitration.
Which deals with courts.
Which deals with courts, siding with the player, siding with the organization. The organization probably gets sided with more.
Yes.
And
at least it seems that way to me.
It's I don't know I don't know what to say. Okay, for example, who was it? Blake Snell won the Cy Young last year.
Yep.
And he got a $15,000 raise to the league minimum.
To the
league minimum. So he was making the minimum. I guess he just raised up to the minimum, $573,000.
And then you want to mention Diaz?
Yeah, Edwin Diaz. He led the league in saves, $607,000. Some of these top performers, just because they're stuck on their rookie contracts. So some of the rookie contracts in other sports, you get paid more.
Well, I was just getting ready to go into that. Look at these players we mentioned. You got Edwin Diaz. You got Blake Snell, Cy Young winner. Edwin Diaz, top reliever to me. In terms of saves. Aaron Judge, one of the rookies of the year to me. Shohei Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did win rookie.
He did. He won Rookie of the Year.
And I think Aaron Judge won Rookie of the Year previously.
I think so.
So you have these players, and I know those are the rules of the rookie players.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But
the arbitration is the big thing where people find it maybe not as fair.
Well, it's ridiculous to me that you have a player that's performing that way, and it's set for those years.
Yeah.
And then they have to go to the courts to see.
Yep.
And maybe because I'm not in organizations and things like that, I don't fully understand. But just looking at it, to me, the way these players perform, I think it's a little unfair compared to other sports.
I've always wondered, one of the things I've always wondered is how they can sign such big contracts in baseball. This explains it.
Yes.
That they can have these really good rookie players for 3 years and not pay them anything. That explains to me, finally, why people like Alex Rodriguez can sign 10-year, $250 million deals. It makes sense now.
Because you want your contract guaranteed.
Yeah.
And I guess certain players want opt-outs and things like that.
Yep.
But you only get that if you're a top player.
Yeah.
Because organizations want to get they want you in their team, and the only time you get to demand things is when you're like a Bryce Harper.
And obviously they're going to want to pay you what they want to pay you for arbitration. They're not going to want you to make that much money, which makes sense from their standpoint as business people.
Because they want to
signing other people.
Yeah, they want to bring in as many quality players as they can. So if you see teams like the Yankees that have an Aaron Judge who is a rookie, they're probably going to have a monster season because they're able to account for, other players that are getting ready to come in their team. Sorry, I stuttered a little bit. Someone just walked past the. But they don't have to pay these players as much as they would pay, like, say, a Bryce Harper who's already established himself.
Yeah, he's been in the league a few years now.
So they got a Aaron Judge who's $640,000.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just not have to pay the.
Yeah, what that was. Blasting 55. What was that?
That almost sounded like the camera.
It sounded like the. It was my phone.
Check out these results.
Well, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what that.
Apparently, we're getting attacked by androids.
I guess we said something close to Google. I don't know what that was, but sorry. But that kind of okay. You start getting into arbitration, and I guess you're so unsure about it as a player, about if it's going to rule in your favor, how much you're going to make.
And what I want to go into, I know I keep cutting you off. I get stuff in my head and I just start blurting stuff out. But when you talk about that, people who are insecure about their contracts, look at Craig Kimbrell, look at Kenley Jansen.
Yeah, they can't even get signed right now.
I know they're relief pitchers.
Yeah.
Closers, and I understand there's a little bit of like a different type of market for relief pitchers and closers. But the thing is, they're some of the best in the world, and they can't get signed.
Look how long it took Bryce Harper to get signed.
Well, that was a little bit, I think, his choice. He probably could have signed.
True.
He probably could have signed a contract whenever he had pleased. But
probably.
But I know what you're getting at, and I know. I do think that a lot of that had to do with they were going to pay him so much money, he and Machado, that it was going to take a while before they got the contract set.
Yeah.
But the relief pitchers is like a volatile market, and it's a little ridiculous to me. I'm starting to think the game is changing in baseball.
Because people are always wanting to try new things. People now are starting to try the big closer by committee type thing.
We're going to get into the leagues shifting into a
some
different era.
Different rules and stuff. That's a little bit different.
In our next video.
For example, Mookie Betts opted to. Okay, here's basically your option once your rookie contract signs out. You can go year by year with arbitration, those 3 years, and then you become a free agent, or you can stay with the team you're with and sign a long-term contract.
And you'll see how this works
now.
And you have
Now, for example, Mookie Betts decided to do it year by year arbitration.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to make $20 million this year, but that's a lot for an arbitration player. I'm assuming it's because he was, he had such a great year.
And he's already established
himself. Now, Paul Goldschmidt, they were talking about, took the safe route when he signed his long-term, his 6-year, $32 million deal with, who was it he was with? The Diamondbacks. Yeah.
And he kind of had a rough year for a little bit last year.
Chris Davis, 3 years later. Now, this is Goldschmidt back when he was younger, like after his rookie deal ran out. Chris Davis signed a 7-year, $161 million deal 3 years later. It's because I guess the market had increased that much.
It shifts.
Which, so that tells you that if Goldschmidt would have waited, he would have made a lot
But you don't know.
But you don't know that. That's why it's a risk deciding what you want to do. And see, it's worked out differently for players different ways. Some players have done good through arbitration, some have done bad, some have done good through long-term contracts.
It just depends.
Some have done bad.
And it depends what teams need. It depends on the market. I mean, if you have a first baseman, say Albert Pujols is in his prime, you got Paul Goldschmidt in his prime, and there's only, say, one team that's willing to pay a bunch of money for a top first baseman, and they're both getting ready to go to free agency.
You're almost better off. You have to decide: am I going to try and compete with this other guy for that long-term contract for that team, or should I just sign with who I'm with now and be safe and secure? You may not make as much money, but you're guaranteed those years.
And if I'm going up against Albert Pujols, who's arguably one of the best hitters ever, I'm thinking to myself, I'm taking the safe route because I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Good things about baseball is that the money is guaranteed. So if you sign that, you're getting that money.
True, but the contracts are a little iffy too.
They are.
I mean,
I agree.
Like right now, if you're looking at the Yankees, you got Voit and I think that's how you pronounce his name, and Bird.
Yeah.
That are competing for that first base spot, and they're both really good players.
Yep.
But only one of them's getting chosen, the other one's going to AAA. So is there a trade for them coming? I mean, you don't know. You don't know if you're going to. I mean, of course, the contracts are guaranteed, but you don't know how valuable you are going to be to that team.
True.
Your contract bonus, your contract could increase depending on that starting position. So, I mean,
you have to debate, injuries. If you've had an injury before, how valuable you think the team how valued you're going to be on the market.
And you mentioned if Judge signs a long-term deal, it'll be similar to Mike Trout.
He'll want that. That's what he'll want it to be. But are the Yankees willing to pay that much is the question.
Which
they have the money.
Yeah.
But,
And I think the Yankees would, because he is kind of a staple in that team.
yeah,
I mean,
especially
not
how
kind of
young he is.
And with how good his defense is, how tall he is, saving home runs, stuff like that. So I think they will. I think that's a definite. But it just shows you how it works differently for different players.
Yep.
And it only changes after that rookie.
I didn't quite know this about baseball contracts until I started reading this. I didn't realize it was that. You start to understand why you need agents. When you start looking at some of the contracts these professional athletes sign, you start understanding why they need the agents.
And just to do a little plug for the K-Zone, I bet they go into stuff like that.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Just help them out a little bit. But I think that's it for our first segment.
Yeah.
People
are debating on whether the system's flawed. I don't know.
I think it is a little bit. Of course, you go into different rule changes. If they're looking to change different rules and experiment with different things that we're going to go into in the next video.
Go into the next video.
Maybe they should experiment with this stuff first before they ruin the game.
Yeah.
Because some of these rules look like they might ruin the game. But guys, we mentioned our logo. That's up, our new logo. You want to mention you want to do the shout out again?
Yeah, the KZoneNews.com is the blog.
Go ahead and check them out.
Yes, definitely check them out.
They'll help us out. If you want to look in-depth sports again,
go good baseball blog. They talk about all kinds of stuff with baseball. I mean, they go into everything.
And we got the baseball card pack opening coming up. Yeah. And again, the March Madness thing. If you have not entered, go to the March Madness bracket video. Doesn't matter who it is. I don't care if it's K-Zone. They can go over there.
Do it.
You can go over the March Madness bracket challenge. Just say I want in. Of course, I don't know what the rights are for different companies doing that. They may have different rules for their riders, or whatever. I'm not sure, but you can go over and just leave a comment. You'll be entered on the ESPN. We'll give you a group. We'll lay you into a group. Yep. You'll compete. If you win, then you'll get that $25 gift card. So I guess that's it for our first video with Cody and James, Common Sense Sports. Make sure to like, subscribe,
hit that notification bell,
leave us a comment, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Good.